Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello if you're new. My name is Hannah and you're on my animal channel. Today's video is not a very nice video, and as you can see I have Charlie here with me because we're going to be talking about Dan and Nikki Phillipi and the fact that they've just put their dog down. I'm not going to be doing a full reaction and like a play-by-play of everything that's in their video, but from the information they shared, the video is still up. You can go and view it yourselves. I suggest you don't give them the AdSense and you actually find it on someone else's channel who maybe has reacted to it or something like that. But we're going to be talking about what they say happened and why I think it's disgusting. Now, similarly to Nikki's situation, I came into a relationship where Charlie was already my partner's dog. He's a rescue. He was found just wandering the streets alone in Ireland, so we don't know much about his history, but he is brilliant with children. He's a little bit hit and miss with other dogs, so obviously that's our responsibility to be responsible pet owners and keep him on a lead, keep control of him in case he gets a bit, you know, bothered by them. But as far as I know, and certainly not since I've been around, he hasn't sort of gone for any other dogs. And as you can see, he's a kind of terrier mix, so he's very small. He's not necessarily going to cause a lot of damage, especially not to dogs that are like mostly bigger than him. And he's certainly never ever had a problem with children. My partner has nieces and nephews. He's always been super friendly with people. But obviously as a responsible pet owner, it is your job to make sure that your dog and any children are really carefully watched at all times, because no matter how lovely your dog is or how well behaved you think your children are, the two need supervision when they're mixing. Now, Dan and Nikki's video has been up for I think just over a week now. There's been lots of videos about it, but I really did want to address it on my channel. From what I can tell, the situation with Nikki and Dan and the information they gave, they had a dog where Nikki came into a relationship and Bowser the dog was already Dan's dog. He'd been attacked as a puppy and this has clearly caused some trauma. And he is what I would consider a very reactive dog. Now, they use the word aggressive. From what they described, he sounds like a reactive dog. Reactive to other dogs because that trauma has never been addressed and he has never been retrained. And it's clear to me also that when they mentioned that their very young son had pulled on his ears so hard that it had given him cauliflower ears for a number of weeks, and another reaction between the dog and their child had resulted in Bowser nipping Logan, leaving a mark. Not a serious bite or anything, but enough to leave a mark on their child. They did in fact share that Logan was trying to take food from the dog. Again, this is not pure aggression. The dog has not specifically gone after the child for no reason. The dog has reacted to something that it didn't like that the child has done. Now, they said that they did speak to someone who suggested that Bowser would not be appropriate for rehome. I personally find it really hard to believe, especially as there was no mention of exploring specific breed rescues and rehoming services, because this was a bull terrier we were talking about, that they could not have rehomed this dog. It's really sad to me that the only option they felt was appropriate was to kill their dog. This is a dog that was young, fit and healthy, and there was no reason for him to be put down. He was not outright aggressive. He was a reactive dog, and it is very clear that he has some completely unresolved trauma from being attacked as a puppy. So issues with other dogs, that's very common, but it is often fixable with training, correction and treatment through animal behaviourists or some kind of dog trainer. Not always, obviously, there are exceptions to that, but you can absolutely do something about those behaviours, and it seems like they didn't exhaust every other possible option. They also mentioned that they were moving very soon. This dog basically came across as something they supposedly loved, but a major inconvenience. Now, I cannot also speak as a parent. I can tell you, even though Charlie is absolutely fine with people and children, in fact he absolutely adores children, I would never leave a dog and a child unattended, especially not a dog that you know is a reactive dog and has some behavioural issues. Having a very small child interacting with a dog like that is just an accident waiting to happen, and it's not fair on the dog and it's also not fair on the child. As a dog owner and as a parent, it is your responsibility. That incident was not the dog's fault and it wasn't the child's fault. That was absolutely 100% on them. And it's your responsibility when you have a dog like that in a household with a very young child who is not capable of understanding the animal's boundaries yet, that they are supervised extremely closely, or they are separated. It really is that simple. They've had years of incidents with this dog, and yet they allow their child to pull on the dog's ears so hard that the dog got an injury. Unacceptable behaviour. This really does always come back to you being a responsible pet owner. If you're incapable of setting boundaries and keeping an eye on your children and your dogs at the same time, and you have also not addressed those behavioural issues with your pet, then that is on you. And it's really sad and upsetting, and it makes me quite angry that a perfectly happy and healthy dog has been put down when there were absolutely other options. I do not understand it. There are charities and breed-specific rescues that will be able to help you if you have a problem like this. You're not telling me also that with her hundreds of thousands of followers, she had absolutely no other option. It was very clear to me, and I think many other people that came across this video and were reading the comments and all of that kind of stuff, watching other people's video, that this dog felt like their baby came along. It was a difficult dog to deal with at times anyway. Also, the quality of life of this dog, I have no idea, because he clearly loved to go outside and things, but they were keeping him in the house the whole time. Like, that's no life for a dog. This dog just seemed like a major inconvenience, seeing as they also had a young baby and were moving house really soon, and that's exactly how it comes across. Now, since this video has been put out, there's also been lots of other videos surfacing of them talking about the dog, also using Nikki's very tiny dog, Zoe, kind of as a plaything and teasing Bowser with it. They did also mention that Zoe has had to have stitches because of an altercation between Bowser and herself. And it's very clear to me that using your tiny dog as a plaything to tease Bowser, who is a very strong bull terrier and also a reactive dog, is just not a good idea, and it's cruel. Honestly, what do you expect is going to happen? Nikki as a creator, I feel like, is quite a problematic one anyway. She often promotes MLMs, she also is an anti-vaxxer. There's lots of things about her content that I personally do not gel with at all, and I think are really problematic. But this is just infuriating, to be honest, because that dog had absolutely nothing wrong with it, and it is their fault that this happened. There's no excuse. It really didn't sound like they tried at all to help this dog, to change the behaviour, to retrain the dog, to support the dog with its trauma that it obviously received from that attack as a puppy, and it's just really, really upsetting to see this happen. I cannot imagine letting numerous instances like that occur and then thinking that I have to do that to Charlie. I really can't. That would be an absolute no-no. I see no reason that that dog could not have been rehomed. There's no excuse for this. It just seemed like an easy way out. And what disgusted me even more was that they set up a photo shoot to put all over Instagram, like a last goodbye photo shoot, where the dog was extremely close to their child. Bearing in mind this is the whole reason that they're putting the dog down, like the final straw is that he nipped the child. You've now got that child in a photo before you murder your dog, with the dog. So is the dog this scary, aggressive dog, or is this just an easy way out for you? Really not a fan of her or her channel anyway. Really sorry to have to come back with a video like this, but I do think dog ownership is one of those things where lots of people have lots of opinions. It's also obviously a really common pet to have, and there are a lot of really seriously irresponsible dog owners out there. Even when we're talking about simple things like keeping dogs on leads and all of that kind of stuff. It's something that you really need to take seriously. They are wonderful, gorgeous companions, and they do make great pets, but they are also a lot of responsibility. And if you have a dog, you really need to make sure you are taking care of that dog and the people around your dog. Please do let me know if you guys have seen the video and what you think of it. Obviously those are my opinions, and I will be back soon with more animal content. Please hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you're not part of the family yet. And it's a big goodbye from me and baby Charles. And we will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.